Okay, serious question for you. And I was going to ask this before you texted it to me, which is breaking all the podcast rules. I have tweet notifications on for you for a reason. That's a producer move. I do that my real job as well. Always have notifications on for your hosts.
You have tweet notifications on for just about every tweeter under the sun. I don't know how you deal with it. I turned tweet notifications on for Schefter for like a week. And even then, I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is way too much.
Well, there's an art to it. And first off, especially for work situations, you have Schefter on. You have notifications on for somebody like Schefter so that it immediately weeds out like the Adon Schefters. So there's absolutely no
Adnan Schefter.
Yeah, there's no QAnon Schefter. Like there's no gray area.
No, don't let them find us. Nope, don't even utter the Q word.
And then sometimes there's some people, either Twitter or Instagram, that I will leave it on for them. Like right now, I think I have Marly Rivera notifications back on. They were off for a while. I had them on like a couple months ago for whatever story was there. They're on again because she's going to be tweeting stuff that is relevant. AB's tweets have been on for like a year now, which has been pretty brutal. But like once a month now at this point, it's like something I need. Cam Newton Instagram, all that stuff. But so
Kanye Twitter.
Kanye Twitter. I have tweet notifications on for you, and
which is a psychotic move. I don't know why you do that.
So at 8:28, you said I'm hopping in the shower, and since 8:28. To now, you have tweeted roughly 14 times.
About to tweet a 15th time because Mitch just hit a home run.
So the question is, do you tweet in the shower? And what is the method?
Not always, but yeah, I'll tweet in the shower. Like when I'm just kind of like settling myself in a little bit, I'll tweet. When I'm not getting my right arm wet, I will tweet because that's easiest for me to tweet. I'll hold it away from the shower head. It's a good case too. So, like, I have a method to my madness. It's probably unhealthy.
You don't have like a phone condom or anything you use in there?
No, no paper bag. I just kind of raw dog it in the shower.
Well, paper bag was never on the table here.
Plastic bag, same thing. Paper and plastic are the same thing. We all know this.
Yeah, is that why you have to pay 50 cents for a paper bag at the grocery store?
Exactly, correct.
All right, well, just something I noticed. That's all. Speaking of baseball, what are your spooky levels at right now for baseball? After today, they one team all kissed each other in the locker room and got presumably. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but that's presumably what happened.
Yeah, just guys being dudes. On the bat scale, 15,000.
15,000.
Yeah, I don't like the looks of it.
Yeah, not to be too overly pessimistic, but the MLB and the NFL are not making it. NFL needs to pull the plug right now and tell them we are starting our season in November so that we can get a bubble figured out, because that shit's not going down. Marcus Cannon is about to opt out. 2 Patriots players opted out today. Obviously, the doctor did. Some wide receiver on the Ravens did. But it's gonna start coming down. Especially like the fat linemen who all have like their BMIs are through the roof and they're just at risk naturally because of the position they play.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned the NBA is also not going to make it because they're sending up the exact opposite way as MLB in the sense that MLB does not have a bubble whatsoever, the exact opposite of a bubble, it seems like. But yeah, man, you look at how quickly the dominoes can fall. It was Miami and Philly played each other. And then Philly's playing the Braves now, or the Phillies scrimmage against the Braves.
Yeah, they were supposed to play the Yankees today. They pulled that.
Yeah, they had a scrimmage against the Braves. The Marlins did, I believe, before the season started. And then the Braves just played the Mets, who are in Boston now, who just played against Baltimore. You see how it all can kind of domino effect.
It can unravel very quickly.
Exactly. And only AL East and NL East teams play each other. Like the Red Sox won't ever play the White Sox in the regular season this year, but that's not the point. They're still Atlanta and Boston will play each other a couple times this year, but they're still, miles and miles apart from each other. Even Boston and New York, I mean, they're right next to each other a bit, but that's still like 2 huge metropolitan areas that you're jumping between. And even with no fans in the stands, it's this shit spreads so quickly. The news today, it does not make me optimistic, and I try to be optimistic throughout this, but man, it's not looking too hot.
We are Coldplay fans, so we hope for the best at all times.
Yes, always optimistic, always rainbows, always colors, unless we're listening to, unless it's a rush of blood to the head type of day or a Viva La Vida type of day. Actually, well, Viva La Vida is optimistic towards you.
Well, we will, believe it or not, I've got something for you that, in the end, it might take us a little bit to get there, but it's going to relate to Coldplay. As everything we breathe and every thread of our existence tends to, it will at some point relate to Coldplay. Maybe I shouldn't have led with that because there goes half the audience, but maybe our Patreon subscribers can get the end of the episode and they can get that payoff there. But we'll weed our way through this here. So
you guys can join Patreon, by the way. I want to just plug the Patreon. Lowest tier is $250. If you want to be just a bronze level patron. We do mention everything with Coldplay, though. It's like a 7 degrees, like it's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon type of deal. 6 degrees of Chris Martin.
But it's like boys. 1 degree of Coldplay more.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so what I've got for you here is that I think I have done the whitest thing possible that anybody in the world can do. And,
the whitest thing possible.
Yes. And I think what I would like to do is I'd like you to try to guess what it is. Okay. And maybe this will take us through the whole episode. Who knows? We didn't plan anything for the episode, so that's the goal, is that it takes us to the end. But before we get there, we've got a sponsor. So, sorry, this is my first time doing this copy as well.
You read the sponsor while I think of what things to guess for what you did as a white guy.
Okay. This episode of Podcast AF is brought to you by Hamilton. It says excited. Don't throw away your shot. Catch Lin-Manuel Miranda's awe-inspiring tale of Alexander Hamilton's rise to power and ultimate demise now on Disney+. Don't expect to hear anything about Hamilton's contributions to genocide or Thomas Jefferson's 14-year-old wife or the pride of Mount Vernon George Washington's slaves. Read about that on your own time. Hamilton, who writes your story. It's kind of on the nose, but
yeah, perfect, John.
We're in the pockets of the mouse now, so.
Yeah, they want to get Mickey Mouse has been dying to get in, to make us the podcast that gets dozens of listens every time we post once a month. It really wants to make us the newest puppets, the newest pawns in their big game. All
right, so before we go then, before you start guessing, is there anything that you may have done? Don't tell me, but is there anything that you may have done that was also like maybe not peak, because I think I'm peak white people guy right now. But is there something that you may have done in the past week that warrants me guessing as well, so that this isn't just you making predictions and toward my life?
Well, I'm pretty white throughout my entire life, I believe. I'm a white guy, so I think I live my life as a white guy for the most part. The very people like us, a straight white guy, I've had it just about as tough as anyone could ever possibly have it. So I don't know if I totally I don't know if people would totally relate. Why does my voice keep cracking, by the way? Back to the bit. Anyways, I don't know why people would, why I would think people would relate to me, the straight white guy, and my experiences. I don't know if I should even share it on the air, because it may just go over people's heads. I mean, what do they have to relate to me, the straight white guy? But yeah, I would say I did something pretty white over the last week or so.
Oh, breaking news. Okay. Do we have a sounder? We don't have a sounder anymore. Did we used to have a sounder back in the day? We may have.
When we were at MUA, yeah, and we could just kind of pull it up on the board. No. Now we don't have that luxury.
Now we manually edited literally everything, and it's miserable. All right, well, let me kick it off then. My first guess for what you may have done as a white guy. Did you tweet at or did you tweet about Mick Jagger's birthday yesterday?
No, I did not. And it recently came to my attention that there's a picture circulating on the internet with one Mick Jagger next to a certain associate of a certain dead person whose name just so happened to have been Jeffrey Epstein. So, yeah. No, I did not do that.
I feel like if you make above 6 figures a year, you've probably met Ghislaine, whatever her name is, at some point. Like, you've probably just been walking down the street and been like, oh, there she is. It's like, oh, well, It's just you're. It's like every person who makes more than six figures is always 3 degrees from Ghislaine Maxwell at all time. I'm
just like how
definitely butchering
Coldplay is
her name,
1
but-
degree from us. Yeah,
Yeah.
Maxwell. Yeah,
If
Yeah,
you've got a couple nickels to rub together, you probably were photographed with her at some. Like she's right there right now. So like
on the flight logs. Oh no. Oh no.
But so you did not tweet about Mick Jagger.
I did not
okay.
tweet about Mick Jagger.
Okay, so that was incorrect. All right, so I'm 0 for 1. I'll keep a tally over here. We both only did one white guy thing in this whole week, so the tally's kind of useless. So I won't keep the tally. Actually, it's a waste of time. You can go ahead though.
My guess to you?
Yes.
I think you made your own Chex Mix.
Ooh, I did something similar. That's not that though. So when in the morning before work every day, I don't know if you do this. I live above a coffee shop, so I actually go down and I grab a bag of granola and some oat milk coffee out and go out the door every day with that. So
they're your first
close
couple
to
steps
Chex
to
Mix.
making.
Yeah, I probably could. That's the way this thing's headed probably at this point. It's like the Ghislaine Maxwell thing. It's like if you're like it's probably just in my pocket. And I don't even notice it. Just from going through my everyday life, I probably accidentally mixed checks together on my own at one point, but it wasn't intentional. One could say, but that's not what I'm thinking of. That answer could be correct, but it's not what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, even if that wasn't the one that like you had in mind, the one that you actually did, I'm still going to give myself credit for it.
Okay. Well, we aren't keeping tallies, so
I am.
Well, Fitz, I did notice that you have a nice. You finally cut your hair.
I did.
Is that accurate? Now, all right.
2 weeks ago.
I've been told by a former tight end on the Patriots that this is like a peak white dude thing to do. Did you go into a barber shop without an appointment?
I had an appointment, yes, because you have to with the Roni. You do have to go in with an appointment.
With the Roni. Oh yeah, with the Roni.
Usually I just walk in for the most part.
Okay, yeah, so you would have. So don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the Corona asterisk on this one, or else you would have done that.
yeah, but appointment by association, by circumstance.
But that's the thing. That's the same thing, though. It's like at some point in time, I probably walked into a barber shop. I wasn't even going to get my hair cut, but I just walked in. I just happened to walk in without an appointment, and they just handed me a bag of Chex Mix, and then those are the only 2 we've done. So yeah. You can swing it back to me.
You just keep making sure we go tell. I think maybe. Tell me if I'm wrong, but did you recommend an IPA from a brewery in Vermont?
I did recommend an IPA, not from Vermont, and I'm also never going to recommend that IPA again because it made me gave me a little gas. Give me a
little gas. Oh, IPAs give you heavy gas. Heavy gas.
It was named after a certain animal that the brewery is named after an animal. This is a big clue for you, clue situation. It's named after an animal that in the municipality of Amherst, Massachusetts is considered a rodent, and you are allowed to shoot this animal. Actually, not this animal, the cousin of this animal.
I was originally going to guess a dogfish.
A dogfish?
Yeah, it's a brewery. It's a brewery, whatever.
Yeah, I knew that. I actually don't think I could name.
Having gone to UMass, I should know my. I'm sorry, John. I would have brushed up on my list of do and do not shoot animals in the Republic of Amherst had I known it was going to be brought up. Just trying to think. Well, Lagunitas makes me gassy, but that's a dog, and I don't think you could shoot dogs in Amherst. I hope not. John taking a big sip of moonshine.
Oh, this is what I did, actually. I drank water out of a mason jar.
Nah. Ding, ding,
Podcast
ding.
over. See you later. Nice talking to you, bud.
See you next time.
That was not what I did because, like I said, I don't think I could tell you a brewery in Vermont. Would you like to tell me? Would you like to recommend one to me, Mr.
Von Trapp?
Von Trapp.
Yeah, it's like after named. I think the Von Trapp family from Sound of Music, I think owns it or did own it, and they kept the name. But yeah, I think they're in Vermont.
Well,
I don't know if they have IPAs. I'm sure they do, but I don't think I've had a golden ale or like a lager or pilsner from them.
Well, what I would say is that I would like to see their business log because I'm not positive that that's a legit business in Vermont.
You think it's a front?
In Marshfield, we had a comic book store that stayed in business until like 2017. We were all like, everyone was like, "This is clearly not how they're making their money." Like,
They're clearly pushing weight.
All right, I've got a good one for you.
Yeah.
Did you or did you not watch The Wire? But you loved it. You actually recommend it to people, possibly. But you still think racism is overblown. Is that what you did this weekend?
No, I do that every day of my life. I just love the characters of it. My favorite character of it is the city of Baltimore itself. That's the best character in the show.
Like,
racism,
like the setting is a character, you know?
Exactly. It has the character. You know what I mean? It's a living and breathing American city. The racism ended, started to end during the series finale of The Wire, and then it actually ended on Election Day in 2008 when Obama was elected. Racism doesn't exist.
Yeah, we solved it.
It is crazy. Like I guess that's just occurring to me. There are people.
I'll give you a sports radio host trope.
Yeah,
the thing I just said. Well, maybe not as much anymore because the people who thought that are no longer in sports radio. But I guess that's just kind of now really like that specific instance of it, like this specific one niche, type of person, someone who's probably seen The Wire multiple times, but it's just like, not racist. It's astounding because like a Wire conversation like, oh, what's your favorite season? Season 2 is underrated. That conversation breaks out once a week on sports radio easily. Like just imagine like you're a white dude, you're walking down the street. Basically, you might just find yourself in a what season of The Wire is the best conversation. That happens. And it might be in a bar shop, and you may have walked in without an appointment, and they may have handed you a bag of Chex Mix when that happened.
Good idea for a video we could do. You know how people every August or so will tweet out or they'll make a video. It's like every fantasy football player in your league. It's like the guy who takes too long to draft, and it's like, dude, it's round 14. All you have to pick is a kicker, and you've been on the clock for 5 minutes. I don't know, man. I have no idea. The incessant trader who tries to trade with you every 30 seconds. Shit like that. We should do every single like Wire conversation between a couple of white guys. There's the season 2 not appreciator, and then there's the season 2 appreciator. And that's it. That's just the only
that's the only conversations it ever is. It's never anything else.
Season 2 is boring. Man, you got to understand that without season 2, you don't have the rest of the show. It lays the foundation of everything going forward. Yeah, but it was just so boring and all that kind of stuff. I need more Barksdale stuff. Where's Omar? Blah, 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 blah.
One thing you never get, hey, the show ended and either nothing changed or the people who died were just replaced by the kids, and it was really upsetting because of the cyclical nature of the war on drugs. You never hear that. You never get that about it.
Exactly, and that so many people are unfortunately helpless and won't have a huge shot, if any shot at all, because of the system in this country. It's a great country, though. It's amazing. And
that was not that was not what you did. Just to be clear. Because you never said yes or no. I just want to be clear that that's not what you did.
No, that's not what I did. Okay. Before we continue, the part of the final montage in The Wire that just makes my blood boil the most is Valchek being the commissioner and being like, fits like a glove. Like, I want to punch him in the face.
Hate that.
Valchek, bottom 5 character of the series. Bottom 5. The only reason why he may not be the bottom character is just the funny way that he says Sabatka. I need to get Frank Sabatka. And it makes me giggle, even though he's an asshole. So no, that is not what
I'll have to say you're not even close so far on your guesses. Okay. You're not even close. I'll
change it up a little bit.
Okay.
We'll go to sports here. Do you think that Cam Newton and Bill Belichick won't mesh because of their conflicting ideologies in the locker room? You think maybe Cam is maybe too much of a distraction or a sideshow?
Bit of a pre-PRE - Madonna, as in the pop star. Like he's a bit of a pre-Madonna.
Yeah, he's a little bit more of a perhaps a Whitney Houston. Just trying to
he's
pop stars of many.
He's a bit of a priest in him.
Yeah, he's an Ella Fitzgerald. That's what he is. You got to bring that account back. The prima donna watchdog.
Oh, it's still there. Sometimes I use it as a burner to tweet videos so that I can tweet them from the show account because I'm not allowed to tweet them directly from the show account.
Smart idea. I have a burner myself. Have you ever noticed now? Like I've been doing it with the Get Down On It video, or like other videos that I know could like get the what is it the
DMCA. I got one of those, by the way. I got one of those a couple of weeks ago for remember the Joker staircase meme? When people would put songs over the Joker dancing down the stairs. I put one, and I believe it was to You and I by Lady Gaga. And literally, like when that movie came out last summer, right? Was it last summer?
Last October.
Yeah. Oh, it was October, I think. Yeah, that was when it was like shortly after that I put it out. I got clapped like 3 weeks ago for that. They suspended my account for a day. I was like, what?
Well, you just do the hold the video button and do tweet video, and it does the /video/1 thing where it takes out the question. Yeah, exactly. And people, DMCA police will go knocking on the door and he's like, "Hey, I just got it from the source of that account," and it's just a dummy account. Now, hopefully, I didn't just blow my cover for the DMCA if they go shifting through, but I doubt they'll do that.
When they listen to this.
Yeah, when they inevitably listen to this. And if they suspend that account, then I'll just make another one. But no, what did you ask? I asked the Cam Newton thing. That's what it was.
Yeah, so I had no negative takes about Newton v. Belichick, but I do think I don't like the way Cam Newton dresses, though, is all I'll say there.
It's just too snap. And you know what? He celebrates way too much on the field with his dabbing, the Superman. I don't like that. Meanwhile, I'm just going to retweet this video of Tom Brady yelling, "Let's fucking go," throughout his entire 20-year career, and him pumping his chest and whatnot all the time, celebrating, one would say. But
yeah. Tom Brady put like he's selling a vibrator now. Did you see that thing?
No.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Excuse me. What?
He's selling this thing. It's like a thing that vibrates, but it's like a sphere, and it is clearly meant to be placed in your asshole. I don't know where I'll Google this because this is.
Yeah, if you could give me a link, I just want to see it for myself. You know what I mean?
I just need to see what it looks like so that I can, give a take about it.
Man, you brought it up. I want to know what I'm talking about over here. You know,
it's a. I guess this. I
gotta make sure. Do they take Visa? I want to make sure. Again, I want to know all the details here if we're going to talk about it.
In case nobody needs to answer questions about it. I can't. I'm having trouble finding it, but look it up after the show. It is a small sphere that vibrates, and I don't know what that could be used for, other than softly placed in the butt,
the rectal area.
The TB12 sphincter sphere.
TB hole 12. Hey, how about this one? Ready? TB2. That one's not as good, but it's still good.
TB2 with this pink.
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry. I had the wrong one. All right, recover.
Anyways.
Pull it together. All right, am I up?
It's your turn.
Let's see. Did you go to the beach this weekend and not socially distance?
No, but a bunch of people in Southie did.
Oh, did they? Classic Southie. I totally wasn't one of those people.
No, you're on L Street.
I actually have been to not M Street, but I've been to I Street a few times. But it's generally been fine where I'm sitting. I know like the news cameras will go out there and whatever 2 clips they can get the whole day of like 2 people standing within 6 feet of each other are the only ones you'll see on the news on a loop. But generally, I've been there with a group of people and like our group sits together, but like the other groups like aren't on top of each other. So, yeah, I've done that, but you haven't done that though. You know who did do that? Mo Sanu did that at Wellfleet. He was at the Beachcomber over the weekend. Yeah.
Oh, I was at the Beachcomber a couple days ago. It wasn't over the weekend. It was on Thursday.
Maybe you and most of you were there.
Beachcomber is when I went, people were following the rules and whatnot. And everyone seemed to be doing the right thing. But
yeah, I feel like people generally are following the rules. But again, like the fake news media, they'll go get them.
One bad apple.
That's what they do these days. I haven't noticed. All right, we're winding down. So give me your best last guess, and then I will give you my best last guess, and then we can reveal.
Did you happen to accuse your competitor of ignoring jurisdictions that were raised and flooded 90 years ago in Massachusetts to make a reservoir? Did you happen to do that?
I didn't do that, but Joe Kennedy did do that.
I was going to say a certain white guy did, I would say.
But having the last name Kennedy is also not something. Is that what you did? Is that my final guess?
My last name's not Kennedy.
Are you voting for Joe Kennedy because of his last name?
Ooh, clapping like a seal because it's Kennedy. Ooh. I'm in Massachusetts. Kennedy's are from Massachusetts, and so am I.
I'm starting to appreciate the memes. I've never been interested in a Senate race before, but the memes that are coming out of this one, and especially our friend from college, Stephanie Murray, I actually have her newsletter, gets emailed to my inbox every morning. So I've been following that through there. I get the little Cliff Notes versions of all the little stuff they do, and it's mostly just like, here's my final guess. Were you in a Senate race and tweeted for no reason that your local sports team should sign Colin Kaepernick?
I was not. Yeah, he very much did. Noted Pat Stan, Joe Kennedy III.
All right. Would you like to reveal what we both did? You can go first.
I'll go first. I went to a winery in Truro.
Oh, I was close. I think my last guess was I was inching very close to there.
Truro Vineyard.
I've never been to a winery. What's the one that they always bring like lead singers from disbanded '90s bands to play solo shows at in Boston? City Winery.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was not Truro Vineyard. There.
It's like if you just walk in there like any night of the week, the dude from Jane's Addiction's doing a solo set.
Jane said.
But it's acoustic though. It's just acoustic.
What are the Sauvignon Blanc?
I will show you. I will show you what I did.
Exciting whatsoever.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have got a Coldplay song tattooed on my body.
You do. It's so nice. Woo! I already saw it before we recorded. The gig is up. I saw it a couple days ago. Yeah. Fine. No, I didn't.
We had nothing planned coming into this episode, and we winged it the whole time.
It's a great tattoo.
In and out. Walking Dead. In and out. In and out. Minutes. Half hour.
That's a great tattoo.
Thank you. It says Up and Up on it. It has my uncle's initials on it. I love it. It hurt like hell. It was right on the skin. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say like right kind of on the skin and bone there. I can't imagine felt that great. Is the butt the best place to get the tattoo if you don't want it to hurt? By the way, speaking of butts and poop,
I was told rib cage. Definitely. Oh, my dad has a Tasmanian devil
rib cage.
Tattoo.
I can't imagine that helped.
When my dad was 19, he got the Tasmanian devil tattooed on his ass.
That's amazing. I'm sure it looks great now.
Oh God. All right. Well, that was nice guessing. Taking all that time to guess what we did, especially coming into an episode with no plan like that. So. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Last question. Did you by any chance listen to the new Taylor Swift album, Folklore?
No.